Hello, crafty friends. It's Jessica here, and welcome back to Jessie Kate Create. In today's video, I am going to be showcasing 3 cards that I made using the new Wonder of Oz collection from Graphic 45 that Spellbinders just launched. Now, this is a pretty big collection. I only received 3 of the items from this collection. Thank you to Spellbinders for sending me these, but there are a whole bunch of other items in this collection. Now, it's called The Wonder of Oz, so it's probably not surprising that this whole collection is Wizard of Oz themed, but I didn't want to make 3 Wizard of Oz cards. So we're going to have 1 card that is Wicked themed, 1 card that is Wizard of Oz themed, and 1 card that doesn't have anything to do with the world of the Wizard of Oz at all. Okay, so I want to start by showing you the different items that I received, and then I'll show you the cards I made for each item. So the first thing we have here is, let me take this out of the packaging to avoid that glare. Okay, the first thing we have here is the Wonder of Oz frame and tag. So this is a BetterPress plate and die set. So this is a BetterPress plate. It has this really ornate pattern on it. And then in the center, it says there's no place like home. And then this includes a die that will cut out this little tag in the middle. And also these little pieces of ornamentation that you can add to the card as well. Next is another BetterPress die and plate set. This is the Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion press plate. And so for each of these characters, these are all press plates, for each of these characters, this set includes the coordinating die. So I thought that was really fun. And then lastly, I received this 3D embossing folder called Field of Poppies. You can see that's so pretty. I love the 3D embossing folders. They just add so much dimension to a card. And this is just a bunch of really pretty poppies. But the cool thing about this die set is that the dies line up with some of the florals. So you can cut out some of the florals as well, which is really fun. Okay, so those are the 3 items I received from the collection. Now let me show you the different cards I made. So for the first card, I used the Wonder of Oz frame and tag BetterPress collection. And because I have just seen the Wicked movie, that's really what was on my mind for this first card. So I took some watercolor paper, and first I inked up half of the die with pink ink. I used Concord and Ninth's Ballet Slipper. And then I ran the die again, but this time on the BetterPress I used Clover ink just on the bottom half. And I was really happy with how that background came out. Now for the sentiment on this card, I once again took a piece of watercolor paper and I pressed the plate. This time I used the letterpress black ink. And then I did some ink blending over top of the BetterPress ink with those same colors I used for the background. And then I cut out the tag. So this was a relatively easy card to make. You can see I did pop up, hopefully you can see, I did pop up both layers on foam tape. So there's just a little bit of dimension on this card. But I also forgot to mention, I used my DIY sparkle spray. It's just perfect pearls and water in a spray bottle. And so that did add a little bit of shimmer to this card, which unfortunately the camera's not picking up, but in person, it's very pretty. So that was card number 1. Very happy with how card 1 came out. Next up we had card 2, and for that one I was moving on to the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion. Now for this one I did keep the card itself pretty simple. One of the things I love about BetterPress is that there's so much detail in the images that you really don't have to do a lot to make a really stunning card. So for this card, I pressed each of the images in a different color. And I was looking at a lot of Wizard of Oz posters before I made this card, and usually the Scarecrow has some green to him. Obviously the Tin Man is made of metal. He's made of tin, so he's like gray or silver. And then, of course, for the lion, it's a lion, so it's like a yellowy color. So for these, I used Concord and Ninth Clover, Concord and Ninth Mushroom, and Concord and Ninth Stardust ink. I pressed each of those images onto watercolor paper, and then I cut them out with the coordinating die. And I thought they looked really cool, and I wanted to just showcase them on the card. And I should mention, this is a 5x7 card because, you know, these are bigger images and I wanted all of them to fit on one card. Once I had these cut out, I needed to figure out a sentiment. Now, this Wonder of Oz collection does include a sentiment press plate, but I didn't have that, and I wanted to show you that you can still make a collection work even if you don't have all the components of it. So I looked through my stash and I pulled out the Typewriter Adventure Sentiments stamp set. You've seen me use this one in a lot of videos, but there's one sentiment that says New Day, New Adventures, and they definitely went on some adventures in the world of Oz. So I thought that worked for this card, and I just stamped that down in black ink. And for the background, I wanted to keep this super clean and simple, so I just used a piece of watercolor paper, and I also layered it with a piece of blue because, you know, Dorothy's dress is that iconic blue, and I thought the Spellbinders Cascade cardstock was a pretty good match to Dorothy's blue dress. So I had decided to use that color as a matting layer. That way this card, there's no red in it, but otherwise I feel like it has the colors of the Wizard of Oz. So I was really happy with how card number 2 came out. For this card, I did pop up all of our characters onto a little bit of foam tape. So you can see this has a little bit of dimension to it, but it's still relatively flat. So this one would send through the mail just fine. So there we have card 2. Now lastly, we have card 3, and this is the card that I made with the embossing folder. I thought about using these florals, but in the end decided not to. But this is the card that has nothing to do with the Wizard of Oz or anything in that world. So here it is. This is just a really fun kind of girly card for anyone who loves makeup. I was going to go in a very different direction with this card. And initially, I thought I was going to make a sympathy card because I think florals always work well for sympathy cards. So I embossed the folder, and it just looked so luxe on black cardstock. By the way, this is the Spellbinders Raven cardstock. It just looked so good. I was like, ooh, this looks like wallpaper that you'd see on a really rich luxe like house, like maybe in the bathroom or like a bedroom or something like that. And so I just kind of wanted to kind of dive into that vibe. So I wanted to add some images to this card, and I decided to go with the Gorgeous You makeup die set from Spellbinders. I purchased this a couple months back, and so it cuts out all these really fun little like makeup items like lip gloss, lipstick, mascara, a blush brush, all that fun stuff. And so I made a little lip gloss and a little lipstick. I thought those were so cute. For my makeup, I used the Dahlia cardstock and the Mirror Gold cardstock. And then for the sentiment on this card, I put Bougie Babe, and that is the fabulous birthday die set. This is one that I purchased this at the same time that I purchased this because they kind of go together. But I thought this was just so fun, so bougie, so luxe, and I just really liked how this turned out. The other thing I like about this card, this could be a birthday card, it could be some sort of like congratulation card. I feel like there's a lot you could do with this card, but I just really, this background is so dimensional and so luxe. I just love it. So there we have it. Those are the 3 cards that I made with the Wonder of Oz collection by Graphic 45 from Spellbinders. This was a really fun collection to play with, and you can see, like, we were able to get 3 very different cards from this collection. I really hope that this video inspires you to think creatively about the items in your stash. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. That helps me so much with the YouTube algorithm and helps other people to find my channel and join our crafty community. And if you want to see all the videos I post, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell so that you get notified when I post new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye.